without much background, I would just throw open the questions for the audience. They can prick the huge balloon on which our presenters and award winners are riding on. You can ask questions with regard to any of the applications starting from Karma. Yeah. So the chair is very kind to you. They want you to have the final word. Yeah, to Karma himself?
To Karma, definitely.
Yeah, Karma, it's all yours. The podium is yours now.
Yeah, I'm Vishal from Bharat Petroleum.
Yeah.
Karma, very nice to see the innovation. Few inputs on that. I have seen the person who's doing the digitization of the registers there. He's basically bending over and flipping on the pages. So we need some improvement over there, whether it's in a pipeline or not. Like you can have the particular iPad I think you're using to scan, right? It can be put it on the table on the top, so that the person can sit and flip the papers from sit right on the table itself rather than bending himself. This is one input. Second is he has to get, I don't know the way you are digitizing it, because he may have to enter the text after every scan or not is a question. If it's not there, so there are Bluetooth based the click buttons are available that can be handed over to him. So when he flips the paper, he clicks the button, the scan will be done, and you don't have to touch the screen at all. So these are two inputs. I don't know whether it's in pipeline or not. You can think about it.
Thank you. I mean, what's your name? Vishal. Yeah, Vishal. Yeah. So, all good feedback. We collect a lot of feedback. Our whole process. I mean, while we build the app, and from if very frugal kind of place, I mean, where we kind of envisaged, carrying all these big equipment, and then trying to identify how do we reduce the whole design to something that becomes so
I
compatible.
can understand. Yeah.
So now the thing is, we need to send. Obviously, the idea is to take pictures very quickly and send that over 3G network. I mean, and obviously we have synchronous and asynchronous mode, where, say for example, you can take these images, and whenever the network, say you are in a location where there is no network, and later on, whenever you get to any area where you have network, you can basically throw this on. About the innovation part that you you mentioned, right? So obviously there is that thing, because it's a rig that we have to construct. It's frugal, but it's a rig. It's a wooden kind of rig, and it kind of, I mean, if you have spondylitis and stuff like that, probably it is not for you.
Yeah.
But having said that, I mean, there is a design that we are working on, which is a little bit more intuitive in that sense. That, I mean, we will take your feedback also and basically try to work
it
it
can
out.
be ergonomically easy for the person who's operating it.
Oh, yeah. See, then it starts becoming something else. I saw
robotic arm is not required. What I suggested, you can have the person can sit on a chair, and the register can be put on the table.
Yeah.
And the iPad can be put on the table with the stand, right? So that he's sitting there and flipping the papers, right, sitting from the chair, rather than he has to bend.
Yeah. So in that, so I have to work with Apple, or I have to work with Samsung for that optics,
Yeah.
because it actually is the.
I think we'll have this over lunch, Vishal.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very,
offline.
very
Yeah.
interesting, very friendly.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Last question from the audience before the panelists could have something to say. Yeah, please introduce yourself. Let's give him a mic, please.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Buddha. I have a very basic question for Mr. Sunil Jain. Like, as we are developing solutions for the remote teachers, for the attendance and all, and you are using the geotagging and code, what if he passes a cell phone to his junior or junior teacher? तू चले जा यार वहाँ लगा दे मैं बाद में आता हूँ. So very basic, but what's the solution, or what do you think about it?
Now, basically, the teacher has got an option to report his absence. Today I am going to be absent. Okay. Now, earlier what used to happen is that teacher, let us say there are two teachers in a primary school. The teacher would go, he will keep his applications in advance, 2-3 days, and he will go away. If no inspector comes, what happens? That next time he will come and tear away his absence. Now, first of all, we are ensuring that he is reporting his absence. It is being recorded on the public domain. The public knows, as a parent, I know that in this school, this is the teacher who is absent. Everything is being shown in public domain. And there is a mechanism in which people are, like, there are inspectors, there are block resource coordinators, BSCs who are moving around. आज भी क्या होता है कि लोग जाते हैं पर वह आवेदन मिलता है, ठीक है ना, सो नोबडी इज एब्सेंट. और दूसरा ये, इफ आई एम दी हेड टीचर एंड आई हैव गॉट वन पर्सन अंडर मी, सो नोबडी इज वाचिंग, आई एम बेसिकली फोर्स्ड कि यार आप इसको मेरे को फाड़ दो इसको, तो हम दोनों मिलके आपस में काम करते हैं. अब ये है कि कोई भी आके देख लेगा और कोई आके देखेगा और एब्सेंट रिपोर्टेड नहीं है तेरा, तो मैं भी प्रॉब्लम में आ जाऊंगा.
Right.
So that is the problem that we have quietly enforced, that you have to report your absence. अगर आप कुछ ऑफिस ड्यूटी पे जा रहे हैं, कॉपी चेक करने जा रहे हैं, तब भी आप अपना एब्सेंस रिपोर्ट कर दीजिए. एब्सेंस रिपोर्ट डजंट मीन दैट यू आर एक्चुअली ऑन लीव. ठीक है ना. उसके बाद में किस तारीख को किस कारण से एब्सेंट थे, उसका हम आपसे एप्लीकेशन को रिकनसाइल कर लेंगे. तो जहाँ पर 2 टीचर स्कूल थे, 3 टीचर स्कूल थे, वहाँ पर ये हो गया है. अदरवाइज क्या था, एक टीचर आता था, एक नहीं आता था, वो
I think
दूसरे वाले
that's
को
very,
मैनेज
very
करना पड़ता.
interesting. That's
Right.
very interesting. Let's send our kids to Madhya Pradesh.
Thank you.
Okay, so let Meeta have something to say on education. Over to you, Meeta.
Thank you. Before education, and I did want to continue this strand as well, and thank you for that opportunity. But I just wanted to say something to all of you and probably leave that as a question for all of us who are in this space of building governance for citizen empowerment. There are 3 legs to governance for citizen empowerment. There is affordability, there is access, but most importantly, it's about assurance. We are in the business of creating assurance. We are in the business of telling our people that we assure you that the job that you expect out of your taxpayer money and all the money that we share, and you said very rightly, when you peel it aside, there is nothing called governance. It is us. That was in the morning. We are in the business of assurance. How do you make that happen? It's not just about the last mile. It is also about the first mile. The question that you raised is precisely a first mile question. The question that we were raising about paddy procurement was a first mile question. And today, thankfully, with technology, we have reached that point where we can answer that question fairly effectively. A simple answer to your question, may or may not work in your context, is using biometrics in conjunction with the GIS system. Can the system also take a photograph of the teacher and map that to the GIS location of the teacher? That is one simple solution over there. Similarly, when we are talking about paddy procurement, yes, everything depends upon the initial data entry. In all of our digital exercises, what if the guy enters something that is inaccurate? It is that point of data entry, that initial data entry, where we still have left a gap. So those of us in the business of assurance, we could now move on to, as Mobi1 has demonstrated with the example that you used of the water pump being switched on. We are now in this land of the Internet of Things. I can sit here using my watch and actually switch on or move the blinds in my house anywhere in the world. Open curtains anywhere in the world. We have reached that point in technology. The paddy procurement, the weighing machine, can actually automatically report to the system as well. So let us now, I think the step forward for us in building these governance systems is fill the little gaps that we have led along the way. Today, for me, has been a wonderful experience. I would like to thank all of you for having created so much value in our systems. Thank you.
So I won't say much except that just wrap it up by saying put citizens in the heart of everything, not technology. That's all.